People are seriously injured after a church van loaded with students crashed into a coal truck.
It happened in Whitley County on Kentucky 92, a few miles east of Williamsburg. 13 members of a Georgia youth group were on the van when it collided with a coal truck. The driver of the van, who is the youth pastor, and his wife were both flown to the University of Kentucky Hospital, and they're in serious condition tonight. That's the latest word. 3 other students are recovering in a hospital in Tennessee. Gabriel Rojas has the latest on the frightening crash in tonight's top story.
This is all that's left of the church van carrying a Georgia youth group along Highway 92 when it crashed into a coal truck. Locals say the road can be a tricky drive even for them, much less when unfamiliar with the area.
You know, if I'm in a car with friends from out of town and they're driving up this way, I always tell them, slow down, here comes that curve.
John Wainscott lives just down the road from the collision. He says the area is notorious for bad crashes, but first responders say they had their hands full with this one.
It was a bad one. One of the worst ones we've had in a while.
The youth group had spent the last 2 days here at Whitley East Elementary School working with young students. They plan to return the next day. Patterson Creek Fire Chief Tim Vanover could see Minister Terry Paphouse in the front of the van.
I reckon his knee was tore up pretty bad, his leg, and the steering wheel had come in on him and had him pinned, and the dash had his legs pinned. So they had a hard time rolling it back off of him.
Vanover says Paphouse was airlifted from the scene. Some of the other passengers with less significant injuries were taken to nearby hospitals, while those nearby could only hope for the best.
And anytime any kind of tragedy like that hits a child, we'll all be praying for them.
In Whitley County, Gabriel Rojas, WKYT 27 News First.
This church group is from Belmont Baptist Church in Gainesville, Georgia. The church is about an hour's drive north of Atlanta. Tonight, about 24 people gathered at that church, including friends and family of those involved in the crash. The pastor talked about the youth minister who was driving and says he's thankful it was not worse.
See where the tire ran right over where the driver's seat was, that corner of the van. So to hear that he's not going to die, it's not life-threatening, that's awesome. I mean, he's a strong man. He's been through a lot in his life. So.
The church held a special prayer service tonight, and members say they're thankful everyone survived. Well, we did have some